Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Rodgers. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
319!
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a first down as well.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage and clearing space.
And left side here, it's Graham. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. Gets this one left side to Pettis. That's good for a 1st down. Here's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll toss it to Breida. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
11. Here we go.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Hey, 4 down. By 20.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key. This game going forward, and that time they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And they'll run it here. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
319.
Rodgers now to throw on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And that one results in 35 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
It's caught. Nelson. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners are able to cash him for 6. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo going for the deep ball. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass. They run with Breida. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
11.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The Niners on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and a mile.
Hey, here we go. Ready?
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again. Clay Matthews in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers to throw on second down. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Rodgers now to throw. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Packers get set to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's Breida. Finding room to the 20, and he'll finally be taken down at the 18. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass in his first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't...
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. He couldn't hook up with a Nunwa that time.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after it.
1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there, taking it in from 7 yards away. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Now Rodgers. And this one is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
To throw is Rodgers. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face a third down. And again, it's Rodgers. Anuno's got it, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Rodgers will try again on second down. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
319.
Now Rodgers on third down. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Anunoa, the intended target. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo now. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
4 down. Here we go. White 20. White.
On first down, Garoppolo. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gold with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
319.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He's going to go deep for Beasley. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
319.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
20. 180.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Flag. Here we go. 180. Go ahead.
Watch a slant.
21. 11.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC division. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. 2nd half action back underway. Jerick McKinnon now to return. Shedding through the defense. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
Black 80.
They run again with Breida. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
I got you.
Let's go, defense.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
By 20!
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Breida, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
By 20! 180!
Now Garoppolo. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And Gold is able to put it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
319!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
319 on it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
319 on it.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into this. Second half now, this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Good one over the hole and in. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Breida. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. 65 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And now it's second down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, there's the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Dancing to his left. Throw left side complete. That's good one. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Now the first carry for their fullback. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas getting him once again. His third sack of the afternoon.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling.
And coughed it up, and the Packers pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And Graham's got it. Complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
319.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it, and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in the game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Right back to him on first down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Now a toss play. It's Breida. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now McKinnon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Niners on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
He'll get it up the middle. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? To throw is Garoppolo. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking at the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Gold now out to kick it away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.